Namaste, namaste. Just to open up, we might have some technical issues today. The Wi-Fi is being challenged by the cosmic powers that be. Bear with me if we freeze or you lose connection. Also, for those of you who are joining me live, it's a Saturday morning. The postman will come during our practice and the dogs will bark. Again, that's in their nature to protect. Let's bring our palms together at our heart center in Namaskar. Closing your eyes, grounding and settling here into this space. Feel the connection with the earth. Know that this earth holds our secrets, our stories, our vulnerabilities, the ways in which we are harmed or hurt or oppressed or witnessed by the earth. Our practice today is a practice of forgiveness through ahimsa. Not forgiveness necessarily that forgets, not a forgiveness that justifies or explains or tolerates, but a forgiveness that allows us as individuals to find peace, to find a tranquility within our own hearts and minds. It is not a forgiveness of acceptance of abuse. It is a forgiveness that prevents us from continuing to hurt ourselves, harm ourselves, by placing the responsibility where it should lie, rather than internalizing the responsibility lies with the other. The accountability is something that we can expect. We can frame that by forgiving ourselves with all the harsh words and thoughts and feelings that we may apply. It's a very fine balance. Forgiveness is a practice for the self primarily, rather than a forgiveness of the other. I invite you to, if your hands are in Namaskar, begin to separate out the palms by drawing them apart. Fingertips and thumbs stay connected, moving into Anjali Mudra. As you chant Om today, offer ahimsa to your own heart, to that place of space between the palms, this seed here. Inhale to prepare. Om. 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 Namaste. Sat Sri Akal. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome. We're going to continue with this theme of the power within. We started with love in action. Today, we're going to focus on forgiveness in action. Our mantra is Om Gam ganapatye namaha. mantra invoking the deity Ganesha for protection. Our mudra is going to be Abhaya and Varada mudra. So let's bring the right palm up towards the shoulder. Have all of your fingers touching together and then bend ever so slightly so that you create a sort of almost cupping. So it's not straight, it might look very straight, but just a gentle bend in there. And the thumb has a little bend in it too, almost like as if you're holding here. This is a have no fear gesture, a fearlessness gesture, Abhaya mudra. The left hand comes onto the left knee. And again, we're creating a very similar feel to the hand. So if you see from the side, a slight cupping, and then place that on your knee. Varada mudra, forgiveness mudra. Closing your eyes. And imagine here, warm glow. Any color that invokes care, ahimsa, forgiveness, gentle love, and embrace your whole body. And perhaps that warmth of light emanates from the right palm to create a shield around the body. We'll chant Gam ganapatye namaha 3 times. Om Gam ganapatye namaha. Om Gam ganapatye namaha. Om Gam ganapatye namaha. 3 times whispered. Three times silently internalized. Releasing your mudra, releasing the mantra. Let's place the right hand on the belly and the left hand on the heart. Dirga Pranayam, 3-part yogic breath. I always smile internally when we practice this pranayam. So I always think of it as a breath that reaches the parts that other breaths can't. And for those of you who drink Guinness, you'll remember that Guinness is the pint that reaches the parts that other pints don't reach. So I invoke the love of my Irish friends and family and community. Dirga Pranayama is a 3-part breath. So as you inhale, draw the breath into the abdomen, invite the abdomen to expand like a balloon all the way around. Then the ribs expand. Again, the front, sides, and the back of the ribs, the whole rib cage expands. And then in this 3rd part, the heart rises, the chest rises. On the exhale, here at the navel, everything contracts and draws in all the way around this band here. The rib cage, all the way around the rib cage, contracts and draws in as if knitting the ribs together. And then the chest falls. 3-part yogic breath. Belly and navel, ribs, chest. Placing our hands over these areas helps us to sense this gentle movement. Inhale to prepare. Exhale through open mouth. Dirga pranayam. Belly, ribs, chest. Exhale. Navel, ribs, chest. Inhale. Rise and expand throughout. Exhale. Contract. Release. Let go. Belly, ribs, chest. Exhale. Navel, ribs, chest. Notice the pauses. There's a fourth part to this pranayam, which we do not talk about. The shunyata, the silence, the stillness, or the turiya. These words that convey this part that is almost like inaction, but it is action within an action. Because it's a vital part of this sequence of breath. 3 more rounds of Dirga Pranayam. And as you expand and rise, draw in this warm light that we have already visualized, creating a aura around us. As you exhale, soften to every part of the heart and the mind in forgiveness, asking yourself, what does it take for me to forgive myself? What does it take for me to forgive others? How can I contain the remembrance, the recognition of boundaries, and yet forgive? How can I forgive without it equating acceptance or forgetting? Inhaling, release your hands, open out your arms wide. Let's spiral the fingers up towards the sky. Inhale to reach up. And as you reach up, create lots of space between the pelvis and the bottom of the ribs. So use your little finger and thumb just to check how much space you can create here. Exhaling, left hand to the heart, earth, and the right hand over. I was going to say hearth, which is the hearth of the fireplace. The hearth is a place in which we come to rest, to find warmth. So appropriate. Slip of the tongue there, combining earth and heart together. Reaching up again, create space here and length. Exhale over to the right, to the hearth. Inhale back to center, reaching up, create height. Exhale over to the left. Into this rotation twist, right hand up the left knee. And sense where you're breathing here. So take the right hand for the moment and place it on the left side of your rib cage and slide the hand across over to the right. It's almost as if you're creating a little mini turn here, and then turn a little more to the left to notice the additional space that you've created for forgiveness. Inhale, center. Creating height and length and space. Exhale to the right. Left hand on the right knee. Let's do the same motion here, taking the left hand to the right side of your ribcage and gently draw the hand across the flesh and the skin here, as if you're going to draw your ribcage away from this twist, and then twist a little deeper to the right, having created space into which you can move with forgiveness. Turn back to center, reaching up. So whenever we turn or come out of a twist, we move with the head first. Exhale, right hand to the right shoulder, Abhaya Mudra, left hand onto the knee, Radha Mudra. Inhale to reach up. Let's go the other way. Left hand to the heart, right hand to the knee. Let's switch this 3 times. And I'm just going to create some movement here before coming in, just so I feel like I have more space for the heart to expand into. Feel free to reach up before bending into your elbow. And then let's finish on the right side. Open out the arms, spiral the fingertips so they are facing up. As you exhale, let's take the left elbow over the right, bringing the backs of your hands together, or wrap the left fingertips onto the right palm. Garudasana, eagle arms. Here we open through the back of the heart, softening with the breath. So with your Garudasana arms here, as you breathe, breathe into this space at the back and the bottom of the ribs. Inhale, open out your arms. Let's cross the right elbow over the left. Again, backs of hands together or left fingertips on the right palm. And again, take this deep breath that decompresses the back of the heart space. As if you are pumping your rib cage, your lungs full like hot air balloons. Release the arms. Let's come directly onto the earth in Bambarasana now. And cycle through 3 rounds of cat-cow Marjariasana here. Slow, mindful transitions today. So cat-cow is 2 poses, 2 asana. And as we go from cat to cow, from cow to cat, Marjariasana to Bikliasana, Bikliasana to Marjariasana, that transition in between is our moment of forgiveness. How can we embody forgiveness in our practice? When we are hurt or angered or frustrated, when we are harmed, brutalized, how do we forgive even in the depths of that pain and suffering? It's not an acceptance of the pain and suffering. We still create this boundary, this aura of warm light around us, this shield. But this shield isn't rock hard. This shield is a nurturing, loving, tender care and protection for the self. That's why we create this sense of warmth about it. Because this shield is one of protection for us. Breath here. And then let's extend that right leg long, tuck in the right toes, reach out through the right ankle, take the left hand to the heart, and then open up the heart. Keep that left hand on the heart. Now let's take this left hand and draw it from the left rib all the way down to the right rib. And now let's see if you can open up even more here at the thoracic spine. And if you're ready, my friends, I invite you to reach up with Abhaya Mudra and turn the right hand that's on the earth into your Varada Mudra. In our protection, we often become steely, hard, unforgiving. But let's invite in forgiveness to our own protection so that we maintain our humanity, our tenderness, our vulnerability, our love, our compassion, our forgiveness. Exhale, left hand to the earth. Turn your gaze down towards the earth, rotate on the ball of that foot if you rode out towards the little toe side. Lift the right leg. Cross it over to the left as far as it can go. Now here you can stay on your hands or you can come down onto your forearms, my friends, and interlace your fingers or bring your hands into Anjali Mudra here. Bring that right leg back, keep the hands on the earth. And then bend into your knees. Sit back into child's pose. And then bring your Anjali hands to the back of your skull. Take a full breath here in Balasana. When we are triggered, when we are harmed, when we are hurt, we retreat, we withdraw. If we were to stay here, when we are hurt or harmed, we withdraw and retreat. If we were to stay here, we would end up hiding from the world, disengaging from the world, disengaging in trusting relationships. So release your hands from the back of the skull, gaze ahead, rise up, come onto your hands, back into Brahmarasana. From forgiveness, we are able to engage, re-engage. Take the left foot behind, tuck the toes. Draw the navel into the spine. Engage here fully. Bring the right hand to the heart. And again, let's open up across the right heart. Lift from left to right with our hands. Lift towards the sky. Keep that right hand on your heart for the moment as you gaze up. Now let's take the right hand to the right side of the rib cage and slide that hand across the bottom of the rib cage. And let's open up towards the sky. Bring your hands into your abaya and Varada Mudra. In order to release patterns of anger, frustration, hurt, harm, which are held within our body, which become, in the words of Patricia Walden, issues in our tissues, we then contract and stay contracted, which harms us. How can we move from that place of contraction into expansion again? Exhale, turn your gaze down towards the earth. Bring your hands down. Let's cross that left leg all the way over to the right. You can stay on your hands here, or you come onto your forearms with your hands in Anjali. This slow, mindful practice of tuning into the subtle internal sensations of emotion, of feeling. Hatha practice is known as forceful or strong practice. not because we're sweating, but because it has a powerful, potent impact on our subtle energies. Bring that left leg back, bend into the knee. Let's retreat back into child's pose. And bring your Anjali Mudra to the back of your head. Retreat, withdrawal is necessary. This is our autonomic system's, nervous system's way of protecting us from harm, hurt, oppression, damage. It can exhaust us when the nervous system is fully activated because it's in a mode of protection, necessarily so sometimes, and oftentimes actually. This can feel exhausting, my friends. Draining, depleting. Retreating into withdrawal, retreating into rest, retreating into recovery, into repair, to restore ourselves is vital and vital, essential work. And then lift your gaze by releasing your hands from the back of your skull, moving back into Brahmarasana. From here, we're going to come into melting heart Anahatasana. Keep the hips and the knees aligned. Walk your hands away from your body. Perhaps you take them as wide as your mat. And then begin to lift the tailbone and melt the heart towards the earth. Check at which point in your body this creates discomfort. And then lower to the earth. Or place a blanket or bolster and lower to the blankets, folded blankets or bolster here. Arms as wide as the mat here. Create lots of space underneath the armpits, along the lateral body here. Now, my friends, we're going to extend the left leg long here. Let's start with the right leg, actually. See how this feels, because you may need to provide a stable scaffold with your arms. So you can always bring your arms closer towards you. And extend that right arm out. So connect through all of the corners of the hand. So when I say corners of the hand, I mean the fingerprint, the fingertips, the knuckles, the outer and inner edges, the wrist, the heel of the hand, so that you create these tiger paws, tiger claws, with a slight suction underneath the palm. Hug in the navel towards the spine, knit in the ribs, squeeze the pelvis, all of our Mula band, Uddiyana band, Jalandhar band is engaged here. Maha band engagement. Exhale, bring that right knee back, moving with care. Let's extend the left leg back. When you're ready, my friends, let's bring that left knee in. Walk the hands back with care. Come back into child pose. Take the knees wide, so it's wide-legged balasana. Hands alongside the body, palms face up. Soften through the shoulders, the arms, the spine, the heart, the lungs, the rib cage. Moving from expansion into contraction, which is less contracted. We are still in a space of contraction, but this contraction has space within it, into which we can breathe, into which we can forgive. Inhale. Place the hands as wide as the mat. I'm going to tuck our toes and rise into Parvatasana mountain pose here. Walk out your feet. Sway your hips. Create some movement here. When we're in these places where our head is lower than the heart, this inversion, this will release a myriad of emotions and a myriad of thoughts. Allow them to drain out through the crown into the earth, because the earth is your witness. Earth also holds and embraces our stories. This commune with nature, I cannot tell you, my friends, how important it is for us, even those of us who live in the urban jungle, to find nature, to commune with the earth, to release our stories, our hurts, our harms into the earth, to seek the protection of the earth. Walk your hands back towards your body slightly, so you come up higher onto your fingertips. Heels are connected. If you need to raise the earth towards you, reach for blocks and place your hands on blocks or a low footstool, or perhaps onto the edge of a chair or sofa. Bend into your knees softly. Walk your hands back even further so that your hips now come behind the heels. Maintain the length of the spine. Breathe into the lower rib cage here. Dirga pranayama here. So this 3-part breath. Allow the waistband, the ribs, the chest to rise and expand here. And you can do this by breathing and directing your breath to the back of your body, to the sacrum. Walk your hands forward, my friends. Back into Parvatasana mountain here. Bend into your right knee and walk that right hand as far forward as you can go comfortably. And then begin to turn the heart. Bring the left hand to your heart here. So create this little twist opening here. And then when you've created that twist, take your hand back to the earth. And take this right leg underneath you. Bring the little toe side to the edge. And now let's turn back, coming into fallen star. Reach your left hand up. So you rotate your body here. I'll guide you through that one more time. So you're in Parvatasana. Bend deeply into your right knee. Walk that right hand as far forward as you can. That's comfortable. You're on the ball of your right foot. And then turn your heart to the left. Take your left hand here to the heart. So that you create this opening and engagement first, priming your body. Then turn your gaze down. Leave your heart as much as you can where it is. And then thread that right leg across. Left hand is back on the earth here to support you. Little toe side of your right foot is connected with the earth. Then drop the heel of your left foot. Now let's bring our hips and pelvis into this twist and reach up. Fallen star. Exhale, left hand to the earth. Turn your gaze, turn your heart, bring the right hand back. Lift that right wrist, circle it here. Let's move into the other direction. If you wish to take a break into child's pose, please retreat here. And walk this left hand forward. Bend into this left knee. Keep the toes tucked here. Take the right hand to the heart and begin to spiral your heart out to the right. Lift your gaze here. So just create this twist. We're creating the prime conditions for the twist. Our hips and pelvis stay parallel to the side for the moment. We're not turning them. And then bring that right hand down. Try and maintain this twist that you've created in your torso. And then thread that left leg underneath you. Coming to the little toe side edge. Bring your hand back to your heart. And now we invite our hips and pelvis to turn here. Reach overhead with the right hand. Fallen star. Turn your gaze down towards the earth. When you're ready, my friends, followed by your heart. And then back into mountain. Walk your hands all the way back towards your feet. Let's hang out here in a forward fold. Release here. Allow yourself to contract. Contraction is a necessary part of this pulsation. So every expansion, there is a contraction. If we stay contracted, that's where we become withdrawn, disengaged. It is from this place of contraction that we want to then move into expansion again. In your forward fold, you may take hold of your elbows, soft bending your knees. So ensuring that we unlock the joints if we end up locking in places. If we lock in our joints, we are inhibiting the flow of prana, of this forgiving, warm light. Releasing your elbows. Inhale to uncurl your spine to rise up to standing mountain here, Tadasana. Take a moment here, my friends. Om Gam Ganapatye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapatye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapatye Namaha. Invoking the protection of the Ganesha, of the deity Ganesha. Gaze towards the horizon at the top of your mat here. And keeping your gaze on the horizon, I'm going to invite you to take a brave, courageous step forward into forgiveness here. Without looking down at the earth, trust the earth to be there. And then release the left heel to the earth. So we're coming into warrior one. So turn the hips and pelvis forward if you turn them so that they're parallel. Place your hands here. Let's bring our hands into Varada and Abhaya Mudra. Right hand Abhaya Varada with the left hand. So I look like this, my friends, if you can't see me. You can place this left hand on your hip if you wish to have a connection. That feels quite good here on the left. Often, because of the psoas muscle is connected to the diaphragm. When we experience contraction in our breath, which is part of the autonomic nervous system response, our diaphragm contracts. It pulls on the psoas, and then it contracts here in the hip flexors. So when people often say they feel a big emotional release when they're doing hip work, this is why. So actually having this left hand here, forgiveness, it feels quite reassuring. Bend into that right knee now. Slow, mindful transitions. Sink deeper. One more breath here. From here, we're going to move into warrior three, my friends. So if you need to have some stability for balance, either a chair or a wall or a bit of furniture, be prepared to reach out for that. Otherwise, we will bring the hands to the heart, rotate on the ball of the left leg, hop slightly, and then begin to lift your foot. You can maintain that connection with the big toe for the moment. And when you're ready, my friends, let's come into warrior 3. Now, I am going to connect with my Virada and my Abhaya Mudra here. Left hand is going to stay on the left hip here. My right hand is in Abhaya Mudra. So my right elbow is bent here. And you might need to create some subtle, gentle movement with the feet. Bend into that right knee. One more breath here in warrior 3. And again, trust, my friends, that the earth is behind you. Rise back up into warrior 1, Virabhadrasana. And then lift, lower the heel. Let's move out into warrior 2. So create this expansion first. And then let's come into our Abhaya and Virada Mudra. So now the hips and pelvis are parallel to the long edge of your mat. Keep gazing over towards the right. You know we're going to move into reverse warrior from Mahavirabhadrasana into Shanti or Vipariti. Warrior. Left hand either to the left thigh, or you can wrap it around all the way to hug it into the right thigh. And then let's reach up and over with our Abhaya Mudra. The left hand maintains this connection. So remember this connection where you have a slight curl. One breath here. Back into warrior 2. Turn the right toes forward. Maybe they're slightly, because you might have created a bit of a base. Let's realign the heels. Take a moment here. Let's go in the other direction soon. So let's begin to rotate the hips and pelvis. Again, you might need to come onto the ball of that right toe to find your alignment. So warrior 1. Left knee forward with a bend in it. Hips and pelvis parallel here to the short edge of your mat. Now let's bring the right hand to the right hip, or hanging out there, space. Left hand into Abhaya. Warrior 1 for the moment. So I'm like this, my friends. What does it take to make sure that we can move into forgiveness with ahimsa for the self? How can we release these binds that are created for the mind and the heart when we're in a place of contraction because we have been hurt, harmed, or triggered? Forgiveness does not mean and does not equate with forgetting. It does not equate with acceptance. Forgiveness is about creating space for the self. Let's move into warrior 3 here. So my friends, you can reach for the wall or some furniture. Let's rotate on the ball of that right foot, sorry, this one is my right foot. As you reach forward, maybe you hop in slightly, come onto the big toe. Make sure you have space in front of you. And you can use your hands at your heart, whatever you wish to do here, my friends. So let's come into warrior 3. I'm maintaining my Abhaya and Virada Mudra. Gaze down towards the earth. There may be micro adjustments with the left foot, a soft bend in that left knee. And when you're ready, my friends, let's find the earth. Trust it to be there to hold us, to hold our stories. Coming back up into our warrior stance. and then open out into warrior two. So expand out with your arms first to create this space. Hips and pelvis are now parallel to the long edge of the mat. So right hand in the hip, left hand in abaya. Keep your gaze over to the left. When we move into forgiveness, we loosen the valves of that we have contracted or tightened. We're loosening the valves. This is a way in which we can allow things to resolve, for wisdom to enter, as one of my teachers say. By loosening the valves, we allow things to resolve and wisdom to enter. That is the place in which we find forgiveness. Now we're going to move into Shanti Warrior. So let's take that right hand to the right thigh, reach up and over with the left hand in abaya. Right hand can go in Vrada, tucked around to the left hip. My friends, while we're here in this variation of Virabhadrasana, Virabhadrasana is the great hero. It is heroic to forgive. It is heroic to find peace and be peaceful. It takes a heroic effort in the face of disagreement, conflict, frustration, difficulty, challenge. This is where the heroic aspect is to be forgiving in that righteous anger, righteous frustration. It's not a rejection of those emotions or feelings. It is finding space within them so that we can expand from the place of contraction. Let's come back into warrior two. Turn the left toes forward. Let's be in Baya Vrada Mudra on this side. Heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. So that we come closer here into standing Tadasana. Take a moment here in Tadasana. We're going to move into eagle pose, Garudasana. So move through your standing mountain pose from the feet up. Connect with the earth. Lift your toes, place them one by one on the earth. Press through all four corners of your feet, the big toe mounds, the inner heels, the little toe mounds, the outer heels. Bend into your knees. Let's zip up through this here, the midline. So the front line here, we're going to engage this deep front line. So imagine that there's this zipper running up through the middle here. So let's draw that in. So we're hugging everything into the center here, as if there's a block or cushion between your thighs. Activate through the shins. So that soft bend in the knees will help us to activate through the shins, creating this very solid, stable, secure foundation. And then we can expand from this foundation. Open out the arms. Lift the right heel. As you cross that right leg over the left, let's take the left elbow over the right arm. Now this right foot can come with a big toe on the earth, or you can wrap it around the back of the left calf. Lift the elbows. Backs of hands are together here, or right fingertips on left palm. Exhale, let's fold forward. You fall out, find your balance and come back. Inhale to rise up. One more time. Let's say twice more. So we're going to do this 3 times. Fall forward, move slowly and mindfully here. And if you fall out, come back. Forgive yourself. Rise up. One more time. And then this time as we rise up, we'll open our arms into our eagle wings. You can see that I'm moving very slowly here. There's lots of movement here. The body isn't still. Open out the arms. Uncross the legs. Shake out that left leg. Maybe with that left hand, you massage that hip. Circle the hips one way, then the other way. Shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. And then come back into your strong, stable mountain. Feet first. Toes, 4 corners of the feet. Shins, soften your knees. Hug in the thighs. So we engage the inner thighs as we're zippering them together. Squeezing a block or a pillar. Mula bandh, Uddiyana bandh. Zip up. Shoulders away from your ears. Crown lifted. Tadasana. So begin to peel that left heel up. Open out your arms. So this time as the left leg crosses the right, we're going to take the right elbow over the left. No, we're going to take the left elbow over the right. You can tell as soon as I get there. So right elbow over the left. Left leg over the right. Come into your eagle pose. Remember those left toes. I definitely get my left and rights mixed up when I'm crossing the midline. My brain is working hard right now. And so not only is my brain having to think where my body is in space, I'm also having to think about the words to describe my body in space. As you exhale, let's fold forward. As you inhale, let's rise up, and you will wobble, my friends, here. You are an eagle perched on the side of a mountain. The wind is blowing. You might need to make micro movements to adjust yourself, to find your balance. This is where we can move from contraction to expansion with forgiveness, with ahimsa. When you do this for the 3rd round, we're going to open up our wings, the wings of the heart. And then shimmy, 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 shimmy. Now, let's shake it all out. So, thinking about what happens if you, especially if you have pets, and they're suddenly gone into high alert. Whatever it is, the risk, the dangers, the hurts, the harms that they sense, that animals sense, they're going to high alert, autonomic nervous system, fully engaged, fully activated. And then we can go into contraction because we are protecting ourselves. To release this contraction, animals shake. Think about if you've been through a traumatic experience. I'm not asking you to reflect on the traumatic experience. I'm asking you to think about how your body felt in the moments afterwards. Did you begin to shake uncontrollably? This shaking is nature's way, our body's way of letting go of contraction, of tightness, of that fear, so that our muscles don't hold the memory. So if ever you've been activated, angry, frustrated, distressed, challenged, traumatized by something, brutalized by something, we have to forgive our body by shaking everything out. It doesn't mean we've accepted what's happened to us. It doesn't mean that we forget what happens. It means that we begin to process what's happening to us. I love this shaking. And when you get to a certain age like mine, you have lots of wobbly bits. See, my bum is really wobbly. And I'll just like put my hand there and let it wobble. Love this body, forgive this body, all its shaky bits, all its wobbly bits, all its fatty bits, all its skinny bits, whatever part of your body. Forgive that part of the body, especially if it is a part of your body that you feel challenged by. And now, my friends, I invite you, before we finish, we've got a couple of minutes here left to close our practice. I'm going to stay standing. And then I invite you to put on some music. I can't put on some music. Put on some music. And whatever you do next, dance your way through music. Say, look, I'm dancing without. I'm imagining that there's music playing. Dance your way out of your yoga practice, off your yoga mat. Whatever kind of dance moves you like to do. I'm a bit sort of, I'm a 70s, 80s girl, so some of my dance moves are a bit dated. And look, I even like to bring in my yoga mudras. Yeah. Don't be ashamed of your body. Shake it out. Play the music. Turn around. My friends, I don't know what music you're playing, or whatever you're playing. You watch this video on YouTube, or you go back, write in the comments what music you played. I don't even need to listen to music because I can dance to that music. It's the music of my heart, the music of my soul. I'm surprised my dogs aren't thinking, what is our mum doing? Okay, my friends, let's slow it down. Wherever you are. Dancing to the beat of your own heart, dancing to the rhythm of your own life, the beat of your heart, the beat of your life. Coming back to stillness. Note the dust in here. Let's bring our hands into Abhaya and Varada. So left hand can be on your left hip, or you can have it in space, my friends. Let's close by chanting our mantra 3 times, and then Om Shanti. Inhale to prepare. Om Gam ganapatye namaha. Om Gam ganapatye namaha. Om Gam ganapatye namaha. Om Shanti. 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 Thank you, my friends. Shake it off. Stretch your stuff. Walk on into the rest of your day.
Thank you, Carly. Good weekend.
Yeah, and you